My brother sent me a text at 9 in the morning. Cleaned out your junk box. Trash day is tomorrow, so I put it on the curb. I stared at my phone for 5 seconds before my stomach dropped. That box held a signed Andy Warhol print. Flowers, 1964. A personal gift from our grandfather, worth $340,000. You'd think my brother would apologize when he realized what he almost destroyed. Instead, he hired a lawyer and demanded half. He claimed the print belonged to the whole family, said I was being selfish, said he'd saved it so he deserved a cut. But I had something he didn't count on. I had every email, every photograph, every piece of paper our grandfather left me. And I had 3 years of proof that my brother knew exactly who owned that print. Where are you watching from, and what time is it there? Drop your time zone below. And if you've ever had family throw out something priceless, hit that like button. You'll want to hear how this ends. But first, you need to understand how that box ended up in my closet, and why my brother thought he had any right to it. Our grandfather worked as a gallery assistant in New York in the 60s. He wasn't famous, he wasn't rich, but he loved art. And he was there when Andy Warhol's studio was still called The Factory. Grandpa told me stories about deliveries, about late nights, about artists who'd become legends. He kept one piece from that time, a signed Warhol print, flowers, bright, bold, beautiful. On my 16th birthday, he gave it to me. He handed me the print in an old wooden box, along with a handwritten note on lined paper. "This one's yours. Keep it safe," I cried. Not because I understood what it was worth. I didn't, not then. But because he trusted me with it. My brother was 22 at the time. He laughed. "That hipster garbage? You actually want that?" I didn't care what he thought. I studied art history in college. I became an archivist. I learned to document everything. Photographs, scans, cloud backups. I took a picture of that print every year for insurance purposes. I scanned Grandpa's note and saved it in 3 places. When Grandpa died 4 years ago, I kept the box in my apartment. It sat on a shelf in my closet, climate-controlled, safe. Then I got a job offer across the country. I needed to move fast. My brother offered to store a few boxes in his garage while I relocated. "No problem," he said. "I've got space." I packed the wooden box with the Warhol inside, wrapped in acid-free paper. I labeled it clearly. I even told him what was in it. That was 6 months ago. That was my first mistake. I called my brother 2 weeks ago and asked him to ship the box. "Which one?" he said. "The wooden one. The one with Grandpa's print." There was a pause. "Oh, that junk box? Yeah, I threw it out. Looked like trash. Don't worry about it." My hands went numb. "You what?" "Relax, it's fine. Trash day is tomorrow." I booked a flight that night. By the time I got to his house, the box was gone. But the print wasn't. I found my brother in his living room, holding the Warhol in a cheap frame. "See?" he said. "I saved it. Thought you'd thank me." I could barely breathe. "Where's the rest of the box? Where's Grandpa's note?" He shrugged. "Threw it out. It was just paper and old junk. But I kept this. I figured it might be worth something." Then he sat down and crossed his arms. "Actually, we should talk. Grandpa gave this to the family, right? It's a family heirloom. We should sell it and split the money. I could really use it for my business." I stared at him. "He gave it to me." "Yeah, but it's family property." "He didn't leave a will that said you get everything. So let's be fair. 50-50. It was a gift before he died. It's mine." My brother smiled. "Prove it." He gave me 48 hours. "Get a lawyer or agree to split. Otherwise," he said, "he'd put the print in a safe deposit box under his name." I left without another word. 3 days later, I got an email from a law firm I'd never heard of. Subject line: Ownership dispute. Estate of grandfather's name. My brother had moved the print to a bank vault. The letter said he was now the custodian of a contested family asset. It said the estate had never been formally divided, that the print might be marital property because my brother was married, that I needed to respond within 10 days or he'd file an interpleader action in probate court. I didn't even know what interpleader meant. I called my parents. "Just split it with him," my mom said. "He's your brother. Why are you being so stubborn?" "It's just money." My dad agreed. "Keep the peace. You don't want to tear the family apart over a painting." I sat in my apartment that night and wondered if I was wrong. Maybe I misremembered. Maybe Grandpa's note wasn't enough. Maybe my brother was right and I was being selfish. I couldn't sleep. At 2 in the morning, I opened my laptop and started searching my cloud drive. Old emails, scanned documents, insurance files. Then I found the folder. 23 documents, all dated. All clear. I didn't sleep the rest of that night. But by morning, I knew exactly what I had. The first document was a letter, handwritten by our grandfather on his personal stationery, signed, dated March 14th, 2015, 2 months before he died, notarized at his bank. It said, "I give my signed Warhol print, Flowers, 1964, to my granddaughter, my name, solely and absolutely." Solely and absolutely. Not to the family, not to both of us, to me. The second document was an email chain with the estate attorney who handled Grandpa's will. I'd asked her a question 3 years ago about insuring the print. She replied in writing. The Warhol was an inter vivos gift, delivered before death. It was excluded from probate. No estate inventory required. I had both documents scanned in high resolution. I sent them to my brother in a single email. Subject line, "This is why Grandpa gave it to me." No other text. Just the attachments. He didn't reply for 12 hours. When he finally did, it was one line. My attorney says letters can be challenged. Family intent matters more than paperwork. I read it twice. Then I realized something. This was never about confusion. This was never about fairness. He knew the print was mine. He just thought I wouldn't fight him. 4 days later, my brother filed a petition in probate court. Petition to reopen estate and determine ownership of tangible personal property. He claimed I had exerted undue influence over our grandfather, that I'd coerced him into writing that letter, that the print rightfully belonged to the whole family. Then he sent a group text to our parents, our aunts, our cousins. "I'm trying to protect our heritage. My name is being selfish and refusing to share what Grandpa wanted for all of us. I just want what's fair." Within an hour, my phone was flooded. Texts, calls, Facebook messages. "Why are you doing this?" "He's your brother." Grandpa would be ashamed. I lost a freelance contract that week because I couldn't focus. My boss said, "We need your head in the game. Maybe take a leave." I couldn't pay rent. I couldn't think. I felt like I was drowning. My brother posted on the family Facebook page, "Some people care more about money than family." Praying for healing. 34 likes. Then I got the mediation notice. Mandatory appearance. 2 weeks. Neutral mediator. Both sides, both attorneys. If we didn't settle, it would go to a full hearing. Depositions, discovery, months of litigation. I had 2 weeks to build an airtight case. Turns out I only needed 2 documents. I called the estate attorney who had handled Grandpa's will. I explained what was happening. She remembered me. She remembered the print. "I can help," she said. 2 days later, she sent me a signed affidavit. The artwork commonly known as Warhol Flowers, 1964, was delivered to my name prior to the decedent's death. It was intentionally and expressly omitted from the probate estate inventory. Signed, sealed, filed with the court as part of the original estate record. Then I found the second document in my insurance files, an appraisal from 3 years ago. I'd had the print evaluated for coverage when I moved apartments. The appraiser required a witness signature for high-value items. My brother had been visiting that weekend. He'd helped me carry the print downstairs to the appraiser's car. He signed the appraisal as a witness. Right there, his signature, under a line that read, "Insured owner, my name, sole owner confirmed." He had signed it 3 years ago. He knew it was mine. He had always known. He wasn't confused. He wasn't trying to be fair. He was counting on me not remembering. Now I understood. This wasn't a mistake. It was a calculated grab. I needed to know why. Why now? Why this? So I did what any archivist would do. I went to the courthouse. Public records are public. I searched my brother's name in the civil docket, and there it was. A default judgment, $180,000, filed 8 weeks before he threw out my box. His business had taken a loan. He'd defaulted. The lender won a judgment. Then I checked the family court docket. A petition for legal separation, filed by his wife, same month. She was leaving him. His business was failing. He owed nearly $200,000. And then he saw my box in his garage. The Warhol was worth $340,000. Enough to pay off the judgment, enough to buy time, enough to save his reputation. The junk box story was a cover. He'd planned to take the print, claim joint ownership, and force me to settle or sell. He thought I'd give in. He thought I'd avoid conflict. He thought I wouldn't have proof. He was wrong on all 3. I didn't feel angry anymore. I felt something sharper. Clarity. I knew exactly what I had to do. I called a lawyer that afternoon. A trusts and estates litigator. She worked on contingency. No money up front. I sent her every document. the notarized letter, the affidavit, the insurance appraisal with my brother's signature, the default judgment, the separation petition. She read them in 20 minutes. Then she said, "We're going to win this. And we're going to make it hurt. Not hurt like revenge. Hurt like consequences." She filed 2 motions. 1, motion to dismiss my brother's petition as frivolous. 2, counterclaim for conversion, civil theft, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. We demanded immediate return of the print. We demanded sanctions. We demanded attorney's fees under Rule 11 for filing a baseless claim. I also filed a police report, not because I expected charges, but because it created a paper trail. Good faith. Documentation. My attorney sent everything to my brother's lawyer with a cover letter. One line stood out. Your client has 7 days to return the artwork and withdraw his petition with prejudice. Or we proceed to a hearing with a request for treble damages and a referral to the state bar for filing a knowingly false pleading. Mediation was in 1 week. I didn't plan to mediate. I planned to win. The mediation was held in a small conference room downtown. Beige walls. Long table. A neutral mediator in a gray suit. My brother sat across from me with his attorney. He wouldn't look at me. The mediator started. "We're here to resolve a dispute over a piece of artwork. Let's begin with the petitioner. Please state your position." My brother's lawyer spoke first. "Our client believes the Warhol print is a family heirloom. His grandfather intended it for the whole family. He's simply asking for equitable distribution." My brother nodded. "I just want what's fair. Grandpa loved both of us. This should stay in the family, and we should share it." The mediator turned to me. "And your position?" My attorney opened her folder. "We'll let the document speak." She pulled out her laptop and connected it to the screen on the wall. First image, the notarized letter. March 14th, 2015. Letter of gift, notarized. I give my signed Warhol print, Flowers, 1964, to my name, solely and absolutely. The mediator leaned forward. Second image, the estate attorney's affidavit from estate counsel. The artwork was excluded from probate. Delivered prior to death, and my brother shifted in his seat. Third image, the insurance appraisal. My brother's signature circled in red. Insurance document from 3 years ago. Witness signature by respondent. Line reads, "Sole owner confirmed." The mediator looked at my brother. "You signed this?" My brother's attorney whispered something to him. My brother said nothing. Fourth image, my brother's own text message. "Threw out your junk box." Then the final image. The default judgment, $180,000. Filed 2 months before he touched my property. My attorney spoke calmly. Respondent owed a 6-figure judgment. His wife filed for separation. He saw an opportunity. He took property that was never his, fabricated a claim, and filed a baseless petition. The room was silent. The mediator turned to my brother's lawyer. "Counselor, do you wish to continue?" The lawyer whispered to my brother for 30 seconds. Then he looked up. "My client will return the artwork today and withdraw his petition with prejudice." My attorney didn't blink. "And the sanctions?" The lawyer hesitated. "We'll waive our fees if the print is returned within 2 hours and my client receives a written apology on firm letterhead." My brother's lawyer nodded. 2 hours later, the print was retrieved from the bank vault. I walked out of that room with the Warhol in a protective case. My brother walked out with nothing but his lawyer's bill. 3 months later, my brother's business closed. I saw it on LinkedIn. He'd relocated to another state. No forwarding address. No goodbye. My parents sent me an email. "We're sorry we doubted you. We should have listened," I wrote back. Polite, brief, but I didn't go back to the way things were. Some boundaries, once crossed, don't get erased. I had the Warhol re-authenticated by a major auction house. They confirmed it. Genuine, signed, mint condition. Value $340,000. They offered to broker a sale. Competitive bidding. Major collectors already interested. I thought about it for a week. Then I said no. I wasn't ready to let Grandpa go yet. Instead, I loaned the print to a regional art museum. A 2-year exhibition in his name. I also set up a small scholarship fund for underrepresented students in art history. $5,000 a year. Funded from my own savings, not from selling the print. Grandpa would have liked that. I blocked my brother's number. I stopped going to big family events. No drama, no announcements, just quiet distance. I didn't do this for revenge. I did it because some things aren't negotiable, and one of them is the truth. I learned 3 things from this. 1. Protect what's yours. Not with aggression, with documentation. 2. Family doesn't mean unconditional access. It means mutual respect. 3. Never let someone else's desperation become your emergency. The print is hanging in the museum right now. There's a small placard next to it. On loan from the collection of grandfather's name, in loving memory. People stop and take pictures. They read about Grandpa's time in New York. They see his signature on the note I donated alongside the print. That's the legacy he wanted. Not money, not a fight. Just beauty, shared with people who'd appreciate it. I visit the museum once a month. I stand in front of the print, and I remember his hands, his smile, the way he looked at art like it was a language only he could speak. And I'm grateful I fought for it. Not because I won, because I kept a promise. This story is a fictionalized dramatization and not legal or financial advice. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever had to fight to keep something a loved one left you? What happened? Drop your story in the comments below. And if this resonated with you, hit that subscribe button. I share one story a week about standing up, speaking up, and keeping receipts. Because you never know when you'll need them.